Some names become legends, others become warnings. Jeffrey Dahmer is both. The Milwaukee Cannibal turned his apartment into a graveyard disguised as a home. His crimes weren't just murders, they were rituals of control, obsession, and destruction. Today, we're going deeper, past the headlines, past the horror. This is the story of Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer, Lionel, was born in 1960. His childhood wasn't marked by abuse in the traditional sense, but by neglect, instability, and isolation. His parents fought constantly. His father was distant, his mother struggled with mental health, and by age 10, Dahmer was fascinated with bones. He collected animal carcasses, dissected them, and stored remains in jars. He once described the sounds of bones as magical. This wasn't just curiosity, it was rehearsal. Dahmer was 18 when he picked up Stephen Hicks, a hitchhiker. They drank together, and when Hicks tried to leave, Dahmer panicked. He struck him with a dumbbell, strangled him, and dismembered his body. He scattered the remains in the woods. That was the first kill. And once Cray Cray Dahmer crossed that line, he never came back. Through the 1980s, Dahmer's life spiraled. He dropped out of college, was discharged from the army, and drifted through jobs. But beneath the surface, his obsession grew and grew and grew. He lured men from bars and bus stops. He drugged them, strangled them, and posed their bodies. He photographed corpses, keeping images as trophies. He experimented with preserving flesh in acid. He consumed parts of his victim. Yeah. His apartment wasn't just a crime scene, it was a laboratory of death. Now, neighbors complained about the smell because, as I can imagine, the smell was so putrid and horrid. Like, mm, anybody would complain about the smell. I would as well. I mean, I would be complaining like, oh, somebody check this person. Check his house. Check that apartment. It's nasty. The smell is so putrid. Like I could smell it through the walls. And not just the hallway walls either. I could smell it in my apartment. Like seriously. They heard screams. They saw men running from Dahmer's apartment. One victim, a 14-year-old boy, escaped, naked, bleeding, and drugged. Neighbors called the police. Officers arrived. Dahmer convinced them it was a quote unquote lover's quarrel. They returned the boy to Dahmer, and hours later, he was dead. Now, how in the hell is a lover's quarrel, Dahmer? You and for the officers, how slow are you? Like, seriously, how slow can you be? Because this person said it was a lover's quarrel. Look how old and raggedy he is, and look how young this boy is. 14 years old and raggedy. The 14-year-old boy plus old and raggedy Dahmer. And you want to sit there and believe it was a lover's quarrel? But hey, this was the 1980s. We already knew stuff like this. That it never nobody really cared about that back then. They didn't care about if they didn't care about the people that was grooming. They didn't. They did because we see it. We see that stuff on TV, but it'd be like taking place back in the 1960s, 1970s. 80s and all that, 90s. None of them care about grooming. They did. Like, seriously. I was watching a TV show one day. Y'all should know the show Good Times. There was an episode with Thelma. She was 60 years old and she was dating this 42-year-old man. And he proposed to her. And I'm like, nobody else finds this suspicious. Like, how is a 42-year-old man going with a 60-year-old girl? Like, nobody finds this suspicious. Like, nobody finds this curious. Like, come on now. Nobody finds it suspicious and curious. Nobody finds it wrong. And then for the police to sit there and believe Dahmer, knowing good and well he's up there in age, you want to sit there and believe him. He's older. Here goes this 14-year-old boy. You see that he's young. He's 14. But you want to describe that? You want to listen to old and rusted, raggedy Dahmer saying, oh, it's a lover's quarrel. And then hours later, the boy is dead. Ridiculous. The system didn't just miss the signs. It had the victims back to the killer. By 1991, Dahmer's apartment was a chamber of horrors. A freezer with human flesh, skulls lined up like trophies, barrels of acid dissolving remains, Polaroids of dismembered bodies, posed like art. This wasn't madness, it was method. Dahmer wanted control over life, over death, over memory itself. July 22nd, 1991. Tracy Edwards escaped Dahmer's apartment, handcuffed and terrified. He flagged down police. Inside, officers found the photographs, the remains, the evidence of 17 murders. Oh, finally the police do something. While everyone giving up for the police, they finally did the job. The mask was ripped off. Dahmer wasn't just a loner. He was a predator hiding in plain sight. Dahmer confessed in chilling detail. He described his crimes with no remorse, only precision. He was sentenced to 16 life terms in prison. Dahmer unnerved guards and inmates alike. He joked about cannibalism. He shaped food into body parts. He told one guard, and I quote, I bite, unquote. In 1994, another inmate ended his life with a metabar. Good. Uh, part of my celebrate. Good. Yeah. But don't mistake his death for justice. Justice would have been saving the lives he stole. Jeffrey Dahmer's story is not about a killer. It's not just about that. It's about victims who were ignored, families who never healed, and a society that looked away until it was too late. His victims were often men of color, often gay, often marginalized. Their lives mattered. Their names deserve to be remembered. The story of Jeffrey Dahmer is a mirror. It shows us what happens when prejudice, neglect, and indifference allow evil to thrive. Jeffrey Dahmer's name will live forever in infamy, but the true legacy belongs to victims. Remember that, not him.